Stop it! Does hurting him make you strong?
The first thing everyone noticed was not the wheelchair, it was his face. Daniel was 18 years old, tall, broad-shouldered, and very handsome. His skin glowed warmly under the sun. His eyes were calm and deep, and his smile, when he smiled, could soften even a hard heart. But the wheelchair always came next. Whispers followed him wherever he went. That's the crippled boy. Daniel heard it all. Savannah Boys and Girls College was known as one of the best boarding schools in the country. Big buildings, clean lawns, proud teachers, but behind the beauty lived cruelty that had learned how to hide. Daniel's parents dropped him off in a black luxury car. His father, a wealthy businessman, spoke into his phone even while hugging him. His mother, a bank manager, kissed his forehead quickly and reminded him to pray. "We'll visit soon," she said. They always said that. As the car drove away, Daniel watched until it disappeared. His chest felt heavy. This was his first time living away from home since the accident that crippled his legs. He told himself to be strong. The bullying started in the first week. 3 boys, big, rich, and loud, made Daniel their daily joke. They mocked his wheelchair, hid his books, and laughed when he struggled to move. Sometimes, they accidentally pushed his wheelchair until it tipped. Teachers shouted when they saw it, but once their backs were turned, the bullying returned. Daniel learned to endure. Silence became his shield. Then Grace arrived in his life. Grace was a slim girl with tired eyes and a brave heart. She was a scholarship student from a poor home. One afternoon, when the boys pushed Daniel's wheelchair and laughed, Grace stepped forward. "Stop it," she shouted. "Does hurting him make you strong?" The school went silent. The boys stared at her in shock. No one had ever challenged them before. Grace helped Daniel up, dusted his clothes, and pushed his wheelchair away with dignity. Daniel looked at her, surprised. "Thank you," he whispered. She smiled. "You don't deserve pain just because you are different." From that day, they became friends. But far away, under a mango tree near the hostel, the 3 boys watched them closely. Their laughter was gone. In its place was something darker. And that night, one of them said quietly,
"I swear with my mother's grave, Grace will regret what she did today."
Grace became Daniel's strength. Every morning, she pushed his wheelchair to class. She shared her notes when teachers spoke too fast. She sat with him during lunch when others avoided his table. For the first time since resuming school, Daniel felt human again. But kindness often angers evil. The 3 boys grew restless. Teachers had warned them several times, but warnings meant nothing to boys who believed money could erase sins. "She thinks she's a hero," one of them scoffed. "She's just a poor girl," another added. "Let's teach her a lesson." Grace noticed the way they stared at her. She felt the tension, but fear did not live in her heart. She believed that standing for what is right was more important than safety. One evening, Grace told Daniel she wanted to study in the library.
I'll be in the library.
Be careful, Grace.
I will.
The library was quiet that night. The sound of turning pages filled the air. Grace focused on her books, unaware that footsteps echoed behind her. She packed her bag and stood up. That was when the hands grabbed her. They dragged her into a dark corner. She screamed, but the walls swallowed her voice. The boys beat her in anger and fear, blinded by hatred. Grace fought, but they were stronger. Her breathing slowed. Silence followed. Fear entered their hearts. "She's not moving," one whispered. Panicked, they ran. The next morning, the school announced tragic news. Grace was dead. The school claimed she fell down the library stairs. They buried her quickly. Her parents arrived, broken and confused. They saw bruises on her body and knew something was wrong. But they were poor. They had no power. Daniel sat alone, staring at the ground. He knew. Deep in his heart, he knew. But knowing was not enough. As night fell, the 3 boys laughed in their hostel room, thinking the truth was buried forever. They were wrong. Grief destroyed Daniel. He stopped eating. He stopped talking. He replayed every moment with Grace in his mind. Her smile, her courage, her kindness. "She died because of me," he whispered one night. The school moved on. Lessons continued. Assemblies were held. Grace's name faded from the notice board. But the dead do not forget. The first haunting happened on a rainy night. One of the boys woke up screaming. He said he saw Grace standing beside his bed, holding a cane. His back burned like fire. They laughed at him until the second boy screamed too. Then the third. Every night Grace appeared, silent, cold, angry. She flogged them until they cried. They felt pain, real pain. She wants us to confess, one cried. Sleep left them. Fear consumed them. They began confessing aloud in their rooms, screaming the truth to empty walls. Teachers noticed their madness. Finally, one night, they ran to the headmaster's office. "We killed her," they screamed. "Grace, we killed her." Police were called. Justice arrived. Daniel heard the news and fell to his knees. Tears poured freely. Grace's parents cried, not only in pain, but in relief. That night, Daniel slept deeply, and Grace came to him in a dream. She smiled gently. "Thank you," she said. He cried, "I'm sorry." She touched his legs. Light filled his body. He woke up standing and screamed. Daniel walked. Doctors were shocked. Teachers whispered. Miracles were questioned. Daniel left Savannah College quietly. He never looked back. Years later, he lived with purpose, loving others fiercely, protecting the weak. Grace was gone, but her love healed him. Cruelty may hide behind power, but justice never sleeps. Love sacrifices, courage speaks, and truth will always rise, even from the grave.
Thanks for watching. Every story carries a lesson. Don't miss the next one. Subscribe and join our storytelling family.